Our next guest is Bill Russell. He is president of the Lake Norman Chamber. And I think you'll all be surprised at how much the Chamber is actually involved in the community and how it affects not only businesses, but local residents.
So Bill, what exactly is your role? What does the president of the Chamber of Commerce do?
What does the president do? My job, the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce is 1,100 chamber members. We're predominantly in Cornelius, Davis, and Huntersville, but we have members in Mooresville and Denver as well. And my job is to oversee the operations of the Chamber of Commerce, to make sure we have the programming in place. So I work at the Chamber. And I've been doing this, I've been here at the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce since 1996, and I was with another Chamber of Commerce prior to in the Low Country of South Carolina for 3 years.
Oh, great. Okay, so now, what is the main purpose of the Chamber?
The Chamber, in a nutshell, does three things. We promote, we represent, and we serve the business members.
Yeah.
By promotion, we're the ones going out there and we're trying to make sure that we're making sure the community knows about this particular business. We have our website, we have the membership directory. Mm-hmm. We have a visitor center at Exit 28 where people can put out their brochures and their business cards. In terms of serving, we go out and we put on training programs, informative programs that are going to help their business skills, their leadership skills. We got some great programs coming up next month on technology. We've got blogging seminar that we just had. Now we're going to be having a seminar on how to use your BlackBerry.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's going to be a wonderful one. We've got social networking. A lot of people these days are on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and we're going to have a program on how to use that to maximize that program to give greater exposure to your business.
Now, do you have to be a member to go to a lot of these events, or is there additional fee if someone who's not a member wants to go, or how does that work?
All of the programs that we put on are targeted to our membership. However, there are a number of programs that the Chamber of Commerce might put on that we invite any business to participate. And hopefully once they get involved and they come to these programs, they'll say, I need to be a member of the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. But for instance, there is a program tomorrow, it's our Focus Friday, where we take a look at some type of community issue. Tomorrow's program is going to be on the proposed half-cent sales tax that either go to transit or road improvement. Now, it's not likely to be in November's ballot, but it's down the road. We're going to look at that, and we want everybody to be aware, and so it's an educational program for everybody, but most of our programs are geared toward that chamber member.
Okay. Now, what are some of the other, you mentioned one just now with the sales tax, what are some of the other big issues that you're getting involved in or challenges for the local area?
There are a number. The Chamber is the voice of business. A lot of what we do, 80% of the reason people join chambers is for the sheer networking opportunities. However, by joining the Chamber of Commerce, you're lending your voice to a greater voice. And so we have 1,100 members, and we can go before our town councils and county councils and the state and the feds to try to make sure it's a great climate for business. There are a number of things here that affect not only the businesses, but our quality of life. It's extremely important. One of the issues that we're working really hard on is getting a magistrate for North Mecklenburg. Okay. A lot of people don't see that as a business issue. But if your business is impacted by some sort of legal issue and you've got to go downtown to Charlotte, that takes time out of your day. You're paying an attorney to represent you. That's going to be costly to your business. But there's some quality of life issues, domestic violence issues. If something happens at home and there needs to be a restraining order, you have to go downtown Charlotte to take care of that. It may be an hour or 2 hours before you respond back, and by that time, that situation may have escalated.
Right.
So a magistrate for North Mecklenburg is something that we work very hard on. Lake access. You know, just a little while ago we had our Parks and Recreation in here, and we're talking about if you have access to the lake via you have some type of watercraft or you have a home on Lake Norman, you can go swimming.
Yeah.
But if you don't or know somebody that does, it's off limits to you.
And that surprised me, you know, in this area, that there is no place that you can just go to the beach with your kids in the lake, you know, around Lake Norman, unless you go all the way up to exit 36 or 42. And
it's a huge missed opportunity because I can't tell you how many times at the visitor center we've had people coming in from other areas, sometimes Charlotte, but sometimes out of state, and they've heard about Lake Norman. We've done a great job of promoting this region, and they get here and they pull up in their car and they got their swim trunks on.
Kids
they
are
say,
all waiting with their buckets.
Can you tell me where Lake Norman is? And you go, you're here, and they go, where can we go swimming? You got to go up to exit 42.
Yeah.
And the look on their face is, why can't we go here?
Yeah.
And yes, we have some great swimming pools, and yes, we have amenities like the Huntersville Family Fitness and Aquatic Center. But this is a treasure down here, and we ought to be able to access it. And it's really, to some extent, economic discrimination. If you don't know somebody or you can't afford to have a personal watercraft, you don't have access. And that simply is wrong, and again, it's a missed opportunity for our
And
region.
how are
There
you
are-
doing? Oh, sorry.
Well, there are some nice places where potentially people could access the lake really easily
Sure.
at Ramsey Creek, at Chaton. I mean, there's
Well, the good news is this. The good news is this is an issue that the Chamber has raised with County Parks and Recreation. Mecklenburg County has now done a study. They are expected in the coming weeks to make a proposal back to Mecklenburg County.
okay.
We believe that'll be a positive message. Our District 1 Commissioner, Karen Bentley, is supportive. Our county manager, our county parks and rec are in support of this, and we believe that they're going to open that up. Now, are we going to be able to do something in 2009? No. Is it going to be 2010? I'm not sure, because there's going to be they're going to have to make some type of efforts to make sure it's a safe environment
Right.
for public swimming,
Right.
and so there's going to be some cost associated with it. But I think we're going to be able to overturn that ban, and that'll be great for our region.
No, I think it'll drive more people into that area and
Oh, absolutely.
bring in
Absolutely.
more visitors.
In terms of the business environment, what are you hearing from the local businesses, and what are you seeing in terms of the kinds of traffic that we're getting in the area, the tax base, and just general business conditions?
It's improving. And
Okay.
that's the great news. And we went through an economic downturn. We're still in it. But when you have capitalism, when you have a market, you're always going to have a slowdown in the market and a correction. It's going to occur in every cycle. The good news is I've talked to some of our car dealers who are stringing together some of their best months since last year.
great.
Okay, good.
I'm talking to residential realtors, and they're closing and got contracts on homes. And when you start moving homes and you start moving automobiles,
Then,
you're
yeah.
getting out of this. I think our retail sales are starting to pick up. And so the good news is we're going to come out of this pretty quickly. And the better news for us is I think Lake Norman and the Charlotte region will see this before the rest of the country. So we were probably the last affected, and we're probably going to be the first out. So that's the great news.
Yeah, that's great.
You've also been really involved in this Buy Local campaign that everyone's hearing a lot about. So tell us a little bit about that and how you've been involved and what you see happening with this campaign.
Absolutely. One of the things that we want people to do is to realize here in the Lake Norman region, Cornelius, Davidson, Huntersville, Mooresville, we have the best dining experience that you can imagine.
Yeah.
We have some great restaurants, and while I wouldn't say don't go to Charlotte or don't go outside of our region, we have that experience right here at the lake. And in terms of our retailers, again, we have the specialty shops, we have the nationally known retailers in the area. North Lake Mall has got some of that now, and there is no reason why anyone would have to go outside of our region for their goods and services. We have put together a deal with LKN Savings
Yeah.
that online that people can get business-to-business discounts, or folks can go onto the internet and find out where some good cost savings. My Connection has been great to work with. They have put together some incentives for our local businesses to where if you're a Chamber of Commerce member, you're going to be able to market your business in a commercial less expensively than if you were not a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
great.
And that campaign's been going on, and I've seen a number of our Chamber members participating in those commercials.
You've actually started seeing those commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
and it was a funny story. I was in one of the fitness firms recently, and I'm on the treadmill, and they're showing now the treadmills have the
yeah, the-
cameras
yeah.
on them, the TV screens. And the lady beside me, she was going on the treadmill, and the commercial came up, and she saw mine, and
She looked over
then
like-
at the end it was me going buy local. And she looked at that and looked over at me like, "Oh my gosh, there he is!" But it's a tremendous opportunity in terms of marketing our business. There is a Buy Local magazine, again, that is going out and offering incentives to businesses, particularly chamber members, for steeper discounts. And so what we're telling people is, look, the people up here in these retail environments and these retail stores and these restaurants, they're your neighbors.
Right.
Support your neighbors. Support your own family.
Also, from statistics and stuff that I've read, the local businesses actually contribute a lot more back to their local community than the larger stores because they're using local CPA firms and lawyers, and all their employees live here, so the multiple of the amount that comes back from their revenue back into the community is a lot higher than it is
Absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
the larger firms.
Well, we know the Chamber has been a great move for us.
Yeah.
We really didn't understand what the Chamber did when we first joined, but I can tell you it's been huge for our business.
Yeah.
And the networking and all the seminars that you offer and the friends you develop through it
Right.
too. I
Yeah.
mean, you've definitely
Yeah,
well connected.
it's a great experience. So thank you so much for coming and
Thank you
talking
for
to
having
us.
me
We
here.
really
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
being
you, Bill.
here.
We'll be right back.